Hi and welcome back to my channel Movement with Liz. My name is Liz. Today we're going to do a short mobility session working through the whole body. So this is perfect for any time, especially if you have just trained, maybe you've been doing a lot of sitting. It's the perfect thing to do to just get the body moving, get the joints moving, get the muscles working, and you're going to feel amazing afterwards. Let's begin on hands and knees. Hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. From this position, just walk the knees in so they're together. They're still going to be underneath the hips. Feet are going to lift off the floor. And it's going to take a little wag tail side to side. So like you're wagging, if you have a tail, or wagging your tail from side to side. This is really nice for the hips, for the lower back area. And you can start to play around with the position of the spine. So right now I feel like I'm in more of a neutral position. You can though take the pelvis into an anterior pelvic tilt, so we'd be coming into extension of the spine. Or you can reverse that, bring the pelvis into a posterior pelvic tilt, and we'd be coming into flexion. So you can play around with that. You can even move between those two positions. Just being mindful, if it's painful and it doesn't feel right, then don't do it. But if it feels good, you can maybe hold one position and then move into the next, or just move in and out of that position of the spine. Breathing nice and smoothly as you do this. Really great if you've been sitting a lot and you feel like you're a little bit tight through the lower back. Bring the feet back down to the floor. Knees are going to come hip width apart again. We're going to go through cat-cow. I want you to focus though on starting the movement, initiating the movement from the pelvis. So we're going to go into cow first. So you're going to take a breath in, just watch the first one, just watch my pelvis. As I breathe in, the pelvis is going to start to move, then the spine starts to roll, belly goes down towards the floor, shoulder blades come together, I look forward. As I breathe out, I'm going to start that movement again from the pelvis, start to roll, I roll through the spine, and opening through the shoulder blades, chin tucks, pressing down through the palms. Join in when you're ready. Take a breath in, let the pelvis initiate the movement. Start to get that roll through the spine, looking up as you start to bring the shoulder blades together, reversing that. Pelvis starts to tuck, rolling up through the spine, pressing down through the palms. Just continue to do that movement with your own breath, breathing in as you roll through the spine, belly comes down towards the floor, breathing out, tucking through the pelvis, rolling up through the spine, opening through the shoulder blades. Let's do that 3 more times. Really seeing if you can get that movement initiated from the pelvic region. Don't rush it. 2 more. Using the breath, don't hold the breath. 1 more time. Got a little bit of a sweat going on. I just did my strength training. With the sweat dripping down my chin. And reverse it for the last time, rolling up. Really press through the palms, open through the shoulder blades. Let's take that back into a child's pose. Reach the arms out in front if that feels good, or rest the palms down to the forehead. Or you could rest the forehead down to the palm, or the fist. Take a few deep breaths in and out. Breathing in, roll back up. You get a nice release down through the side body. You're going to take your left palm out wide, bring the right palm on top, Sit the hips back into a child's pose, and you want to focus on getting that right hip towards the right heel. It might not touch, that's not the point. So trying to get that right hip as close as you can to the right heel. Really breathe into the right side of the rib cage. You might already feel that nice stretch down the side body. If you want to start to increase this a little bit, you're going to breathe in, really breathe into the right rib cage. As you breathe out, press the right palm into the top of the left palm, and just imagine you're pulling it back. So you're creating a little bit of tension there. It's going to create sort of what feels like a little bit of tension there through the side of the body. And just continue to do that, breathing in, breathing out. Press the palm into the hand. And even try to get that right hip a little closer to that right heel. Take one more breath. And then releasing that, coming back up. Recenter yourself. Let's take that to the other side. Right palm will reach out. Left palm comes on top. Sit the hips back. You're trying to get that left hip towards the left heel. Nice deep breaths in and out. If you're wanting to create that little bit more tension, as you breathe in, breathe into the left rib cage. As you breathe out, left palm presses into the top of the right hand, and just start to pull back, but you're not actually moving. And that'll just increase that sensation down the side body. Using the breath, sinking deeper as you breathe out. One more breath in and out. Bring the hands back, bring yourself back up. Coming up onto the knees, going to start to work a little bit more through the hips now. Bring your right foot forward. So just going to work through that left hip flexor. Also going to get a bit of activation there through the right glute. Tuck the pelvis under, so we're not going to be dumping down into our lower back area. Tuck the pelvis under, shifting forward, and then pressing through the right foot, pressing back. Now, if you feel like you're a little bit off balance, just heel toe the right foot out a little bit wider. It doesn't need to be in line with the hip. That's fine to have it out. Just give you that bit more extra stability. Again, tuck the pelvis under. Take a breath in, shift the body weight forward, breathe out, press through that right foot, come back up through to center. And just find that movement working with your own breath. I like to rest my palms on the thigh. Moving in and out. It's coming to your range of motion, so we're not trying to force it. Might get a nice stretch there through that left hip flexor. Next time you come down, hold, make sure the pelvis is tucked. If you want a little bit more, left arm reaches up, take a little reach over to the right side. Not going to be here for too long. Coming out of that little lateral flexion there of the spine, pressing back up. You're going to go back into that movement, tuck the pelvis, shift the body weight forward, press through the right foot. I don't have my little Aria girl here today. She's having a snooze in one of the other rooms. And then Daisy, the other one, she's again having a snooze in another room. Okay, hold down into that stretch. Reach the left arm up if you like a little bit more. Little reach over to the right side. Coming up and out of that, let's swap sides. Left foot comes forward. If you feel like you need to take that left foot out to the side a little bit, that's totally fine. Find that position there of the pelvis, shift the body weight forward, press through the left foot to come back. So it's this whole kind of pelvic region that we're focusing on, releasing or getting a nice sort of stretch through that hip flexor and pressing through that left foot. Got a fly around me, that's annoying. Okay, hold down into that stretch. If you want a little bit more, right arm reaches up, take a little tip to the left side. Come back through to center. Let's do that one more time. Tucking the pelvis, shift the body weight forward, press back through that foot. Hold down into the stretch. Right arm can reach up, reaching over to the left side. Coming up and out. Let's come down onto our buttocks. Okay, so one leg's going to be out. It doesn't matter which one, we will do the other side next. So it's not about how far you can get with this one. So let's think about shifting. So we're going to hinge from the hip. So sit up nice and tall. Make sure both butt cheeks are down onto the mat. So we're hinging from the hip. We're keeping the spine long. You're going to breathe in, reach, breathe out. Press this whole leg down into the floor to get yourself back up. Really nice way just to release and strengthen the hamstrings. Take a breath in, shift or hinge from the hip, and then drive through that foot, that whole back of the leg to get back up. Let's just we'll do that movement a few times, and then you'll get the opportunity to hold into a stretch. You can relax more into the stretch. Okay, let's hold into a stretch. Feel free to just let the spine do whatever it wants to do. If you want to just let go, let go. Press back down into that leg. Let's do that one more time. Sitting nice and tall, reaching, think spine long, pressing down through that leg, come back up to that seated position. Breathing in as you hinge, breathing out as you come back up. Let's hold into that stretch one more time. Feeling free to just let the head hang. Pressing back up. Let's swap sides, other leg out in front. Sitting nice and tall, hinging, reaching, press through that leg, come back up to standing. You may find one side feels a little bit different to the other. That's usually, I don't like to say that's normal, but we generally all have one side that likes to cooperate a little bit more than the other side. I don't like to say it's the good side or the bad side. It just is. And we just want to work with it as much as we can, focusing on getting nice movement through the body. Let's hold into that stretch. Feel free to let it go. Coming back up. Let's do that one more time. Holding down into the stretch. Coming back up, and come down onto our back. Really like this next movement. It's for the spine, for the hips. We're going to go into a hip bridge. So you want the feet hip distance apart, feet about hands distance from the buttocks. Oh, pardon me. That sneeze just crept right up on me. Okay, so feet about hip distance apart, heels about a hand's distance from the butt. Hip bridge, but we're not just pressing the hips up and then lowering down. We really want to focus on working the pelvis. We're coming into a posterior pelvic tilt. So you see here, if you bring your hands to the pointy parts of the front of the hips, we're going to roll them. Imagine you're bringing them towards the bottom of your rib cage. So for that to happen, the lower back has to roll down towards the mat. It's really nice movement, really crucial that we can actually do this movement with our pelvis. And we're going to continue to roll the whole spine off the mat like we're peeling it up vertebrae by vertebrae. So just watch the first one. You're going to take a breath in at the bottom of the movement. As you breathe out, think about tucking the pelvis, roll, start to press down through the feet, rolling the spine up and off, coming up just as far as feels okay for you. Squeeze the butt, chin might come down towards the chest. Take a breath in at the top. As you breathe out, rolling back, imprinting the spine back down into the mat. And then the last little bit, the sacrum will touch the mat. So let's go through that a few times. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, pelvis tucks. Press down through the heels or the feet. Roll the spine up bit by bit. Lift the hips. Squeeze your butt. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, reversing that, roll it back down. Really nice for the spine that we get that beautiful movement. Start to find this movement with your own breath. You might move a little slower, a little faster. Try not to rush the movement. Really focus bit by bit that movement of the spine. Do that 3 more times. Lift the hips just as high as feels okay. You don't have to press too far. Working with the breath. 1 more time. Hug the knees in towards your chest. Take a little rock around on the spine. Thank yourself for making the time. So we don't need a heap of time to do mobility, to train, to move our body, but we do need to make time. So a little bit each day is perfect. Being consistent with that. And you will notice a massive difference in how your body feels and your energy levels in basically everything. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, please drop a comment or drop a question into the comments. Hit the subscribe button so more people can see this channel. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.